Hello, this is your girl AJ, and the name of my YouTube channel is Vocal with AJ Reese. So I am new to YouTube, and what I would like for you guys to do, every time I come on, I share a segment or a topic or something just really brief. I want you guys to be able to share it. I want you to subscribe if you're not subscribed. I want you to be able to share it with others or whatever. We're coming to just encourage one another, just uplift each other, and just continue to go forward in whatever it is that we desire to see happen in our lives. I remember I want to say back in July, I was out at dinner, and I know I'm smiling, but that's just me. You guys will get used to it. You'll get used to it. You'll love me though, but you'll get used to it. But I was out at a birthday dinner among my sisters, and we were just talking, and one of my sisters began to share how she felt with where she was at with her career. And as I'm listening to her, and I'm just saying to myself, like, I understand. I understand. Sometimes we ask ourselves, you know what? Is this it? Is this all for me? Is this all I'm called to do? Is it? I know it's got to be more, because yet you'll find there is a part of you that still yet feels unfulfilled. Well, one of our other sisters began to listen, and she said, "We're not going to turn this into a pity party. We're not. But we want to find a solution." And I just was listening. I mean, my ears, I was very attentive, and I just began to say, you know what? I want to hear some of the goods, the gems, the pearls. Listen, lay it on me. I'm all ears. And she began to reflect back, and she began to talk about how she reflected personally over her life. And she said, I realized, like, I am nowhere near where I want to be. She says, so I sat down and I took time with myself. How many of us really sit and just take time with ourselves? We don't. We're so busy moving, going, doing, fulfilling everything for everybody, and we're burnt out and we don't have anything to pour back into ourselves. So she said, I got to do something about this. And she said, as she began to reflect and she began to, just observe where she was at financially, she said, I didn't like it. I did not. She said, but you know what I found out? She said, I found out that if I wanted to see some movement, I've got to create it. And that thing really stuck with me. And I said, she is so right. You know how we always hear these quotes and these sayings, and they all create the change you want to see, and no, but really, seriously, that one sentence stuck with me. We have the ability to create the finances, the joy, the peace, the wealth, the impact, and the encouragement and the inspiration that we want to see. We do. A lot of times we fall short. How? We always end up putting it as somebody else's responsibility. It is not theirs. It is ours. And that's why a lot of times we go to bed upset, angry with these false expectations on people, places, and things, and they didn't ask for it. We are out of order when we are not fulfilling what it is we should be doing. And I'm telling you, and this is not to make anybody feel bad, I really want you to walk away, and I want you to be encouraged, and I want you to be able to sit down with yourself and say, where am I really? Where am I? Am I really where I want to be? Do I really see the finances that I really want to see? I've been asking myself those very same questions. And I'm telling you, we sat at the Cheesecake Factory, and I mean, we had an amazing time. We really did. And it did not turn into a pity party. It did not. It was a birthday celebration. But to me, even though it wasn't my birthday celebration, I was able to walk away with a gift. The gift of what? Knowledge and wisdom. The knowledge is what she said. The wisdom is now how I plan on applying what she said. I'm like, wow. I said, that is so true. And I said, I just begin to have a conversation with myself. How many of us talk to ourselves? Sometimes people say, oh, God, girl, they crazy. They talk to themselves. Let me tell you something. Sometimes you just got to run things out in your head and you got to be able to talk it out. I like to write a lot. I like to read a lot. And I talk a lot. But over the summer, I was working. And I was beginning to share just a piece of my story with a coworker. And she said, your abundance is in your story. Talk about the light switch coming on. I said, wait. First I done heard, we have the ability to create what we want to see, which is basically the finances that you are looking for, AJ, Reese, you can get it. Sometimes we're looking for a conventional way of doing things. Sometimes God just wants to do an unconventional thing. Something totally unorthodox. Out the box. Get rid of the boxes. Get rid of it. We don't even want it. Just say get rid of it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. But I'm at work and this woman says to me, your abundance is in your story. So many of us have a story to tell. So many of us. The word that came to me the other night, I'm sitting on the couch with my husband, and the word was freedom fighter. And I was like, freedom fighter? That was my alarm, by the way, so don't pay me no mind, but just bear with me. And I said, well, let me look up freedom fighter. So, according to Merriam-Webster, a freedom fighter is a person who takes part in a resistance movement against what? An oppressive political or social establishment. How many of us feel like our jobs, we can only go but so far? How many of us feel like, maybe as you're growing spiritually in God or whatever your belief may be, can only go but so far? How many of us in our family, they've boxed us in because they just perceive us as not being, somebody that has greatness? But I sat there and that thing hit me. And I'm telling you, I said, I'm not just a mother. I'm not just a wife. I'm not just an employee. I'm not just a neighbor. I said, I am really somebody that got it going on. I said, there are some untapped gems that are lying within inside of me that are tired of sitting now, and it's time for it to come forth. And I said, you know what? You're not going to sit anymore on this thing. And the thing about freedom fighters, you know what we do? We're coming to break down burdensome barriers. Burdensome barriers. These are things that have been meant to block us and keep us from soaring and succeeding. I was telling my husband, I will not be the reason I did not get to where I'm supposed to be. I will not allow him or anybody else, and not that he will, or he will get in my way. He's not. He's one of my biggest supporters that will push me. Babe, I think you should so-and-so and so-and-so. I think you should whatever, whatever, whatever. And I'm like, yeah. But as a freedom fighter, we're doing what again? We are breaking down burdensome barriers. We're coming to destroy dysfunctional systems. These are systems that have been set up unbeknownst to us by people, places, and things. It doesn't matter if it's on the job. It doesn't matter if it's in your family. It doesn't matter if it's in your neighborhood or in your church. I have to go back to God, you told me, because he has shared a lot of things with me over the years and have showed me a lot of things. But I've got to be the one to say, it's time. It's time. And whatever that thing may be, because everybody's is not going to look the same. But I said, Lord, with all the stuff that I have been through in this life, I said, I know I'm a freedom fighter because I'm coming to break down and tear it down, get it up out of my way. No longer getting in my way. And sometimes we have to get over that family, over everything, because sometimes they're the very ones that are blocking you. You got to be willing to walk away from what is not good for you. And if it's the family, walk away. If it's the job and it's causing you all this chaos and confusion, baby, walk away. If it's the relationship you're in, whether boyfriend, girlfriend, engaged, married, get ready to get a divorce, it doesn't matter. And I'm going to go deeper. Even if it's your children, you've got to be willing to walk away. You've got to be willing to say, I love me more enough. And I love them enough. I've got to cut them. I've got to cut them off. It don't mean you don't love them. But however, you're saying to yourself that you have to be able to make a sound decision for you. So for me, as a freedom fighter, I'm coming to get the stuff that belongs to me for me. And just remember back to those very two things. Your abundance is in your story, whatever your story is. I don't know what your story is, but God knows I know what my story is. God knows I have lived it. I have cried. I have screamed. I have yelled. God, why me? I don't understand. And I try to be good to people. Da 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 da. Just breathe. Because guess what? As a freedom fighter, just reflect back and then look forward and start setting up as to where you want to see yourself go. And not just go, but grow. We are all called to grow as we go. So, as a freedom fighter, you're going to crush lies, deceptions, people way of doing things. You're going to crush all that. So, it doesn't matter what your upbringing is. It doesn't matter what your last name is. It doesn't matter who your mother, your father is. It doesn't matter. There is so much that you have to offer. There is so much that I have to offer. There is so much that we have to offer. Who? The world. Everybody has a targeted audience of who they're going to impact. So I say today, as a freedom fighter, go for what you know. Just go for it. Don't worry about all the particulars. Just go for it. Because this girl right here is now going for what she wants. I'm going for what I want. And guess what? He's going to give it to me. He's going to give it to me. As I show him this is what I want, he's going to give it to me. So I just wanted to encourage you guys, and I just wanted to let you know today, you are no longer operating in the mediocre form, or what they say, mediocrity. You're now going over, above, and beyond. Do what you do. Do what you do. But that's all I got for you today. I will see you guys on Thursday. As I promised, I would. Lord willing, I will on Thursday. But be that freedom fighter that you know to be. God got you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for listening. And thank you for sharing, clicking, and subscribing. It's your girl, Vocal with AJ Reese. Thank you. See you on Thursday. Bye.